Billionaire banker David Rockefeller dies aged 101. Apparently, he died yesterday, March 20th, 2017, at the ripe old age of 101. Now, this guy was a globalist, an elitist, and all around just a bad guy. Here it says, uh, well, he was a former Chase Manhattan chief executive, and he died in his sleep at his home in New York on Monday morning, as a result of congestive heart failure, according to the family spokesperson. The businessman, who had an estimated fortune of $3 billion, retired as the head of Chase Manhattan in 1981 after a 35-year career there. Now, this guy is, one of the people pulling the strings behind like foreign governments, our governments. He would attend the Bilderberg group meetings. He was just pretty much had his hands in everything. He was just like an older George Soros, basically. Rockefeller was also known as the banker's banker, according to the statement. And is said to have donated almost $2 billion over his lifetime to various institutions, including Rockefeller University, Harvard University, and Art Museum. Now, most of these things are very ill-willed, and what I mean by that is for instance, he would give to third world countries and stuff, right? He would donate money for food, basically, to, like, for instance, different countries in Africa and all this other stuff. And a lot of people say, well, how can you say that's bad? I mean, he donated money and people got to eat and all this. Well, it's because by doing all this, he was purposefully making these areas poor, completely poor, and more people were dying because of it. And what I mean by that is, okay, let's say you're a farmer, okay? You're a farmer. Well, how can you have to make a living. You can't get seed, and you can't plant stuff in the ground, and you can't harvest things for nothing. You know what I mean? You need to make some kind of income for this to work. Well, what Rockefeller would do is he'd go into these countries and he would snuff these people out, because he would flood the area with money for food and stuff. And hey, how can a farmer compete with free? They can't. So basically, he would keep entire countries without farmers and without them to have their own ability to make food. They were completely dependent on his money then, because nobody could afford to be a farmer, because nobody's going to buy your food if they're getting it for free. He also had everything to do with politics. He would use his money to get people elected, to get people out of office, to get people into certain, branches of office, for his own well-being, basically. But anyway, yeah, he was an elitist and a globalist, and you're thinking like, well, okay, he died at 101. I mean, there's a lot of people that live till, well, not a lot, but there's, you hear people living till 100 and stuff, right? You're like, oh, that's, he was rich. He had really good health care. Yeah, well, this is where it gets even darker, okay? Rockefeller had a couple heart transplants. All right, maybe more than a couple. Let's count them. 7 heart transplants, okay? And according to this article, August 25th, 2006, he received his 7th heart transplant. His 7th, okay? And you're like, well, yeah, okay, he received a heart transplant, 7 heart transplants. That seems excessive, but how is that so bad? Well, I can tell you, I actually, I actually work on a cardiac thoracic transplant floor in a hospital, okay? And nobody that I've even heard of has had more than like 3 heart transplants, okay? It doesn't happen. That's totally obscene, okay? And the other thing you got to think about is, okay, so he's getting 7 hearts. So First of all, how did he get on the top of the heart transplant list constantly? This guy must have been literally just kept on the heart transplant list indefinitely. Even after he would get a heart, he must have still been on the very top of the list, which is totally unethical. And obviously some people, physicians and people in the state, were getting paid off for this, because that doesn't even make sense. And on top of all this, there's just no way, like, that you get 7 heart transplants. Are you kidding me? That is the most outrageous thing I've ever heard. And the other thing is like, how good is the healthcare for these elitists? How much more advanced of healthcare are they getting that the rest of us don't have access to? I mean, no physician in the right mind is going to give a heart transplant to somebody who's 99 years old or 100 years old. It just doesn't make any sense. And even here it says the 101 heir to the Rockefeller fortune, David Rockefeller, just successfully completed his 7th open heart transplant after the last one failed earlier this week. Okay? And here's the other problem. Why I say that he must have been just permanently on the heart transplant list even after he would get one. What is wrong with this website? Pile of crap. Just keeps reloading. Probably advertisements, I'm guessing. Anyway, so I mean, it said it failed earlier this week. Okay, most people, it takes a while to get a heart. Okay? I mean, some people wait years to get a heart because they're on the list and they have to wait and wait and wait for something to come up. Okay? And this guy gets, I mean, it failed earlier this week and boom, he has another one. That's just obscene. Most people have to get what's called an LVAD while they wait. Oh my God, this is intolerable. This website sucks. Um, it's called an LVAD. It's a left ventricular assisted device. Basically, they bore a hole in the bottom of your heart. They put hardware in there, and they actually have a power cord coming out of your side that goes into a machine, and it literally pumps your blood around your body. Is what it does. Like you can like you can mess with the amperage, the flow, everything else. Holy cow, this website is awful. But anyway, so I don't know. You let me know what you guys think about this guy, but I don't know.